Welcome to Jack Fleming Artistry. The first part of this video, the sounds are too good for me to really talk. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy them, and I'll catch up to you in a couple minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed that little ASMR session there. This is the point in the video where the sounds aren't quite as interesting, but as I was going to edit, I couldn't, interrupt that. It was pretty good. So in this video, we're making a brag board or show plaque, show sign. I've heard them called a lot of different things. Let me know in the comment actually what you guys call them or have heard them called. Anyhow, this is for a customer's 88 Cutlass that I pinstriped last year, I think. For this board, we're doing the name of the car. We're doing 88 Cutlass on it. I'm doing some gold leaf work because we did a lot of leaf work on the car. And I figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride for it. Kind of catch you up on what's happened so far. I just set a timer before I started doing this here. Right here I'm painting the size. That's the glue that's needed for the leaf to stick to this panel. I set a timer for, I believe it was 45 minutes. Usually it takes somewhere between 50 minutes to an hour for the size to set up and be right to lay the leaf. So I like setting a timer. You'll notice as we get a little bit closer that it did not take the whole amount of time in order to put this size down. Prior to putting the size down, I wet sanded the panel. Trying to remember, I think I used 320 and then 600. And then after that, clean it really well, and then I transferred my design that I drew out on paper. I transferred that using Surral paper. Same kind of thing you guys have seen me do a whole bunch on this channel. After that, I did a little bit of taping here, taped off where some borders are going to go that are also going to be gold leaf. And then again, we're back to putting the size down and letting that dry. I do add, the size is actually clear. I've added one shot imitation gold to it. That way I can tell if there's any holidays in it, spots that I've missed. A little bit more about materials. I'm using a tilly quill. A couple of different sizes actually, depending on how wide the line's going to be. I believe on this one I used anywhere from a size 5 to a size 10. To get the smaller lines that are kind of scrolly, I just let the hairs on the brush not be so chiseled, not be so flat. Let them kind of come together. That way I can use them to sort of scroll around with. What you'll see that I just did is I was testing to see if that size was ready, and I've given it 5 more minutes because it wasn't. Testing again here by dragging my knuckle, and we're listening for squeak. So when it's squeaky enough, that's when it's time for us to start laying our leaf. I like to try and get this sheet of leaf here to cover as much size as I can, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of it. And when I go to peel it off, I can use whatever's left on this sheet of paper here to fill in holes somewhere else. This is patent leaf. That means the leaf is stuck to paper. I am smoothing it down with my knuckles so it's good and smooth and stuck. And then I'm rolling it off whenever I go to release it. That way I can see if the edges are going to peel up or not, and if I need to work them a little bit more. So I'm constantly testing areas to make sure that they're ready for the leaf before I lay it down, because if it goes on too early, then whenever we go to turn it, that size isn't dry enough underneath there, and we'll do what's called burning through the leaf. We're ripping the leaf so much that there's no leaf left where that glue was too wet, and we don't want that. It looks dull. It happens sometimes, but we try to avoid it. I like to save a few pieces of that paper that the leaf was on, so then circumstances like that where I've put some down that I didn't have, I can put the paper back over the top to smooth it down so I'm not getting my finger oils all over the leaf. Whenever I picked that up and touched it, I tried to make sure that where I touched it at was not going to be oversized. That way that part goes away, whenever we brush it off. We don't want tarnishing. If you leave the leaf with the oils on your fingers, it will tarnish sometimes. Even if you clear coat over it, sometimes it'll still tarnish underneath there because of your oils in your fingers. So now that all of my leaf is down, I start engine turning immediately. I know some people like to wait. I honestly haven't seen enough difference between waiting myself, so I just go ahead and go straight into it so I can get done. I have heard some people say that they get a brighter turn out of it whenever they leave it wait, but I've done side-by-side comparisons, and I personally couldn't tell a difference, so that's just me. So continuing on letting you guys know materials and stuff here, I'm now outlining this. I'm using one shot. I have added catalyst to that or hardener to it. The reason that I did that is this panel is going to be clear coated over, and that helps it to, I guess, chemically talk to the urethane clear coat so that it doesn't end up lifting and wrinkling. I'm using a Virus, what is it, a Virus 2? I believe this is a size 4 brush. I really like the size 4 because I can go from a really skinny line to a bit fatter outline if I need to, and I'm able to turn this pretty good around those scrolls, so it's a brush that I'm comfortable with. I think it's important to find ones that you're comfortable with. What works best for you? I guess something else to note here, I am using my maul stick. I've had people get on to me before about not using one. The reason I'm using one here, again, is to keep my hands off of that leaf work. I do not want the oils from my fingers to be on top of that leaf, as much as I can keep from having it happen. So we are using a Tilly quill again here, probably a size 5. Again with the black one shot. I really can't say enough good about these brushes. I really, really like them. I've pretty much switched over them as my general brush for lettering. They turn really well for me. I will say I don't think they hold a chisel quite as well as, I believe it was 189 series that I was using before, the black ones with the white tips on the handles. But they turn better. They turn really well. Still using the one shot here. This time I made a custom color that's based off of tan, but this kind of matches the roof of the car a little bit better. And trying to pull the colors in from the car, add a little bit more depth to the sign at the same time. Personally, I like this effect of having like a big fat, I guess you'll call it a trap line around stuff that kind of bleeds into itself as it goes around all the different letters. Kind of holds it all together and makes it look like it's one consistent shape, at least in my mind. You can see that I added a highlight too of that before doing the shadow here. Something that you'll notice, I put a gap between the shadow and the letters. That's something that Todd Hansen told me, oh geez, maybe 5 years ago to do. And I've been doing it ever since, and I like it. I feel like it adds a little bit more depth. So before showing you guys the final piece, I'll show you the haul that this show is about to happen in here. This is the Dallas Super Show, and got to come in before it all got started. I don't have any footage during the show. Sorry about that. But as I mentioned, here's the final piece. If y'all like this video, please comment below. Let me know. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Check out one of the other 2 videos that pops up. Y'all have a good day.